Whomsoever Allah guides will never be led astray, and whomsoever Allah leads astray, no one can guide. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the one having no partner, and I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his slave and messenger. Before I begin, I want to go ahead and say that I'm a little inexperienced with both the delivery of khutbah and writing khutbah. So if you have any concerns, please share with me after khutbah, inshallah. Today's khutbah will be about dhikr, and I want to begin by saying it is human nature that when we desire something, that when we are in need of something, we will constantly be thinking about that object of need and that object of desire. When we are hungry, we cannot but think about food. When we are thirsty, we cannot help but think about something that can quench our thirst. This is human nature, and it is not possible to go against this nature because this is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, therefore the one who truly loves Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who understands his need of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, will always ever be constantly be thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is not possible that a person loves Allah except that he is thinking about Allah. It is not possible that a person realizes his need, a person realizes his poverty to the mercy of Allah, except that he will always be thinking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Such is human nature, and such is the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created us. Therefore, a sign of Iman is to be ever thinking of Allah. It is always to be remembering of Allah, and the concept of this remembrance is called dhikr. And a sign of Iman is also to be constantly engaged in this dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah praises the believer, and Allah tells us a sign of the believer is that such a believer is always doing dhikr. In fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, الَّذِينَ يَذْكُرُونَ اللَّهَ قِيَامًا وَقُعُودًا وَعَلَى جُنُوبِهِمْ. The true believer is the one who remembers Allah while standing, while sitting, or lying down. وَذَاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَذَاكِرَاتَ أَعَدَّ اللَّهَ لَهُمْ مَغْفِرَةً وَأَجْرًا عَظِيمًا. And the men who remember Allah often, and the women who also do so, for them Allah has prepared forgiveness and a great reward. And inshallah, that great reward will be Jannah. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. O you who have believed, أَذَاكِرُوا اللَّهَ ذَكْرًا كَثِيرًا. Remember Allah with such remembrance. وَسَابِحُوا بُكْرَةً وَأَسِيلًا. And exalt Him morning and evening. The concept of dhikr is one that is central to Islam, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam have praised the blessings of dhikr in numerous ayat and hadith. In this short khutbah, we'll summarize some of those blessings and some of the privileges that come to those who do dhikr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of the blessings of dhikr, of the greatest of blessings of dhikr, the one who engages in dhikr frequently proves to himself, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he has iman. As I said, true iman, true love of Allah, it can be manifested in a number of ways. And of those ways, it will be manifested in one's constant remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we remember Allah all the time, if we do dhikr to Allah frequently, rejoice, be happy. Take this as a positive sign and thank Allah for giving you this blessing He has given you. In fact, remembering Allah can be easy. We can do it any time in our life, alhamdulillah. You can say mashallah when you're walking around the campus and you're looking at the architecture and you're looking at the chapel and the classrooms. You can say alhamdulillah when you don't miss the bus and you're running and you almost missed it. And of course you can say astaghfirullah when you look at your grades. The Prophet ﷺ also says in the hadith in Sahih Bukhari, it's a very powerful hadith in fact. It begins with saying, مثل الذي يذكر ربه الذي لا يذكر ربه مثل الحية والحيات. The example of the one who remembers his Lord in comparison with the one who does not remember his Lord is that of the living and of the dead. The difference between life and death is the same difference between one who does dhikr versus one who doesn't do dhikr. Because a sign of true life, a sign of spiritual life, a sign of real life is that you need the giver of the life. You need the mercy of the one who's given you this life, and that is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you truly have spirituality, your heart is alive. It will be manifested in dhikr. If you remember Allah, you are alive. And if you don't remember Allah, where is that spirituality? Where is that iman? It is as if you have no faith, as if you have no iman, as if you are spiritually dead. In fact, that is why one of the great scholars of medieval Islam, Shaykh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said the example of dhikr is to the heart. The example of dhikr to the heart is that of fish to water. So the example of dhikr to your heart is that of fish to water. So how do you think fish can live without water? And if you don't have water, the fish will die. And Ibn Tayyib is commenting on this hadith, and he said, if you don't do dhikr, your heart will die. And therefore, of the blessings of dhikr is that it purifies the heart, and it makes it alive. Of the blessings of dhikr, it protects you from your worst of enemies. And your enemies are this world, your desires, shaitan. Dhikr protects you from all of them. In fact, in another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, in an analogy, he gives a parable, an image, a metaphor. He said that the one who does dhikr, it is as if, in a similar concept, if someone is running away from their enemy, and the enemy is trying to kill him, and he's running in hard pursuit. The one who does dhikr is like this man who finds a protective fortress, husn al-hasin, a protective fortress that he can then shut himself inside, and his enemies cannot harm him. And he doesn't care. The Prophet ﷺ says he doesn't care whichever side the enemy attacks him from, because he knows that he is protected. And when you do dhikr, you will protect yourself from all of your enemies, from shaitan, from the problems and temptations of this world, and from your own desires. And this is one of the blessings of dhikr. Again, of the blessings of dhikr is that dhikr removes the rust from your heart, it removes it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, كَلَّا بَلْ رَانَ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبِهِمْ مَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. No, rather the stain has covered their hearts. The heart becomes rusted, and rust comes onto the heart. And the Prophet ﷺ was asked, what is of the ways to remove this rust? And he said, of the ways to remove this rust is dhikr of Allah. The dhikr of Allah makes this rust of dunya go away. It makes you more spiritual. It makes you more conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of the blessings of dhikr is that it trivializes the problems of this world. Dhikr is a source of refuge from the problems of this world. We all have problems. Financial problems, family problems, social problems, national problems. We have problems, and these problems will grieve us. These problems will hurt us. We are human beings, they will hurt. But of the ways to minimize this hurt and pain, we need to be constantly engaged in dhikr. And because when you remember Allah and the mercy of Allah, when you remember the infinite, the finite becomes trivial. When you remember the infinite, these finite problems, they become trivial. Dhikr of Allah trivializes any worldly problem, and that is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَلَّا بِذِكْرِ اللَّهِ تَتَمَئِنَّ الْقُلُوبُ. Unquestionably, by the remembrance of Allah, hearts are assured. By the remembrance of Allah, your hearts are assured. And of the blessings of dhikr, it opens up a channel of communication between the Muslim and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a dialogue between you and Allah. The one who constantly does dhikr has an open door, has a direct channel in which he's always communicating with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and by this, I mean he feels he has a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And of dhikr is that dhikr brings in, inshaAllah ta'ala, a good ending of this world. The Prophet ﷺ also says, whoever says La ilaha illallah as his last statement, his final breath, shall enter Jannah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us amongst them. Qul Amin. Now, how do we guarantee that we say La ilaha illallah? Of course, there is no guarantee. But of the ways we can strive to reach that goal is by frequently mentioning and doing dhikr of La ilaha illallah when we are alive. If you make this a habit to do dhikr of Allah, then inshallah, this will be one of the best ways to bring about a good ending, a husn al-khatim. This is one of the blessings of dhikr. Also in another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said, Alhamdulillah will fill up our scales on Day of Judgment. And in another hadith, he also says that Subhanallah and Alhamdulillah fills up the space between the heavens and the earth. See, this very simple thing, it has that much of an impact. Very easy thing to do, and yet it's heavy on the scales. And again, of the blessings of dhikr, dhikr is the easiest act of worship you can do. You don't need to have wudu, you don't need to face a direction, you don't need to take the time out of your schedule, and each and every moment in your life, even in the state of janaba, you can do dhikr. Dhikr can be done in any state. Dhikr can be done at any place and time. You're waiting in line, waiting for your turn, sitting in traffic. Don't just waste those timings. Spend it in dhikr of Allah. This is a bountiful treasure that Allah has blessed us with. There is no such thing as a free time for the Muslim, because the Muslim can take advantage of the time all the time. Dhikr can be done at any time, any place, and any state. In fact, Aisha radiallahu anha states that the Prophet ﷺ would do dhikr of Allah in all states. No matter how he was, he would do dhikr of Allah. And this is of the blessings of dhikr. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله عليكم. Alhamdulillah, salatu salam ala rasulillah. I want to go ahead and remind you guys to be mindful of the people who come after you, so go ahead and start scooting up, even though there's still plenty of space, so just be prepared for when more people come. Now, doing dhikr of Allah is not just repeating phrases by the mouth or tongue. Many of us sit after salah, and when we sit down to do dhikr, you're supposed to do the 33 times subhanallah, alhamdulillah, Allahu akbar, la ilaha illallah. And sometimes when you do this, we act like if it's some sort of speed race. We're trying to beat some world speed record, trying to finish it up. But this is not the proper way of doing dhikr in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ultimate dhikr is to combine the body and the soul, and it is to combine the tongue with the spirit. You do dhikr understanding what each of these phrases mean. Subhanallah, Allah is exalted and majestic. Allah is above having a partner. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not like us, and no evil is attributed to Him. Alhamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah. No one is worthy of such a praise other than Allah. He is worthy of being praised because of who He is, because of what He has given me. Allahu Akbar. Allah is bigger and better. He's more powerful and more knowledgeable, and Allah has the best of attributes. La ilaha illallah. Nothing is worthy of my worship, my dedication, my hope, my love, my fear, and my prostration other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In fact, there's this good book. It's a very small book, and in fact it's very portable. You can hold it in your pocket. It's called The Fortification of Muslim, Hasn al-Muslim. It's usually one of those small yellow or green books, you may have recognized it. And it contains dhikr and dua. And one of the scholars of our time, he compiled hadith. That's it. That's all he did. Not a single word from him. And he has translated it into English, and I encourage you to get this book because it is simple. It's a simple book only containing hadith. You can put it in your pocket, and it contains the word of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and what he would say in the morning, after salah, after eating, what he'd say when he enters the masjid, leaves the masjid. And you can look it up in a table of contents and memorize it after any time you have. And also the perfection of dhikr comes when we realize that true dhikr is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Therefore Allah has given it to us, so if we want to do dhikr perfectly, the first thing we need to do is to be sincere about this dhikr. And raise our hands up to Allah and ask Allah, oh Allah, make me amongst those who do dhikr perfectly. And this is not coming from me, in fact. The Prophet Muhammad says in a hadith, he told this to a famous companion, Mu'adh ibn Jabal. In fact, he begins saying the hadith by saying, Ya Mu'adh, Wallahi, I love you, I swear by Allah. And a very few Sahaba he actually said this to. Ya Mu'adh, therefore, Mu'adh, never forget to say this in your salah. So you need to memorize this dua, in fact. Allahumma a'inni ala zikrika. Oh Allah, help me to do the dhikr, wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik, and to thank you and to worship you perfectly. So it's easy to memorize. Allahumma a'inni ala zikrika wa shukrika wa husni ibadatik. And in English it's, oh Allah, help me to do dhikr and to thank you and to worship you perfectly. And say this after every salah. Brothers and sisters, these are some of the blessings of dhikr, and these are some of the ways that we can approach this concept of dhikr to be perfected in our lives. And I will conclude this khutbah by quoting a very powerful ayah of the Quran. An ayah that should give us food for thought. We should pause and think about this ayah and make sure we take heed of it. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تلهكم أموالكم ولا أولادكم عن ذكر الله. O you who believe, let not your health, wealth, and your children divert you from remembrance of Allah. وَمَن يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْخَاسِرُونَ. And whoever does that, then those are the true believers. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. O Allah, give us in this world that is good and in the hereafter which is good, and save us from the torment and hellfire. رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيَّ وَلِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَوْمَ يقوم الحساب. Oh Allah, forgive me and my parents, and for believers on the day that reckoning will be established. لا يكلف الله نفسا إلا وسعها لها ما كسبت وعليها ما اكتسبت. ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا. ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا أنت مولانا فانصرنا على قوم الكافرين. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عني. Oh Allah, indeed you are the pardoner, you love the pardon, so pardon me. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عني. اللهم إنك عفو تحب العفو فاعف عني. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة. الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لم يكن الذين كفروا في أهل الكتاب المشركين مفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة رسول من الله يتلون صحفا مطهرة فيها كتب قيمة وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا الله مخلصين له الدين حنفاء ويقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة ذلك دين القيمة إن الذين كفروا في نار جهنم خالدين فيها أولئك لهم شر البرية إن الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات أولئك لهم خير البرية جزاؤهم عند ربهم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار خالدين فيها أبدا رضي الله ورضوا عنه ذلك لمن خشيت ربه. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. Allah Akbar. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
Assalamu alaikum. I hope everybody's doing well. So tonight we're going to be having an event called To Know One Another at 7:30. We'll have free snacks, and I know everybody here loves free food, so come out. But more importantly than that, we're going to be having a conversation on respect, community, and unity. And I think that's something we can all discuss, so I look forward to having everybody there. Additionally, Osama's father is currently in the hospital, so please keep him in your prayers. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.